So what's up guys, I'm Josh here on TMG Josh, and today we're taking a look at the GoPro Hero 5 Black Edition. So first off, let's take a look at the specs of this little guy. So this little guy has a weight of 4.2 ounces or 118 grams. It is 1.49 by 1.49 by 1.42 inches wide, tall, and deep. It has a rating of 33 feet underwater, or depth rating, 10 meters. It has up to 4K 30 frames per second video recording. It is a 12 megapixel camera. It has a 2-inch LCD screen on the back of it. It is a touch screen. It has 4 field of view settings on it. It has a burst photos up to 30 photos per 1 second. It has a 1220 milliamp hour battery. It does USB-C charging and has a micro HDMI output on the side, and has a stereo mic with wind noise reduction inside of it. So the Hero 5 Black is a major step up from the Hero 4. Now we're going to be talking about the Silver Edition in this case, because the Silver Edition is more closely related to the Hero 5 Black than it is the Hero 4 Black. The Hero 5 Black took all the good things about the Hero 4 Silver and just made them better. In this case, the Hero 5 Black is a little bit bigger than the Hero 4 Silver. The screen on it has much better pixel density and it's much sharper. And it's fully waterproof instead of having to buy a separate waterproof case. On the Hero 5 Black, there are 2 main buttons. There's the record button and there's the mode/on button. If you press and hold the mode/on button, it'll turn on and beep at you for a couple of seconds. And then it also can switch the modes of the camera. It starts out in video, then it goes to photo capture, then it goes to burst photo, and then it's a time-lapse camera also, which you can set the different intervals on. For the field of view, which I talked about before in the specs of it, there are 4 fields of view. There's super view, there's wide, there's medium, and then there's linear. You can only get the wide view on the 4K at 30 frames per second, but once you drop down to about 1080, you can have all of them. And then 720, you can have 3. If you go through the settings, it's very interesting to see all the different views that you can have. This camera shoots at a bunch of different resolutions. 4K at 30 frames a second is its highest, and then it goes down to 2.7K, then it goes down to 1080p, then it goes down to 720p, 480, and so on. And each of them have a varying level of frame rate that they can shoot. 1080p, however, can shoot up to 120, and 720p can shoot up to 240 frames per second. So something new with the Hero 5 Black is its ability to do a Pro Tune, or as GoPro calls it, a Pro Tune. And the added features of that is you can set a manual exposure and shutter speed within the camera itself. There's also ability to adjust the audio so you can do manual audio instead of having it automatic. So the GoPro Hero 5 Black shoots in NTSC or PAL, depending on what section of the world you're in. The file format also, it outputs H.264 MP for videos. The GoPro Hero 5 Black has an intervalometer built into it, which it has 0.5, 1, 2, 5, 10, 30, and 60 second meters that it can shoot a time-lapse photo in, which is really awesome and interesting to see in such a small form factor camera that this is. It also has a feature on it where it has a low light video setting where you can turn this low light setting on in the Pro Tune menu of the GoPro Hero 5 Black, and it'll adjust everything so that you have the nicest quality of low light setting video, or photo for that matter. So let's talk about the audio on the Hero 5 Black. There is a stereo microphone on the camera itself with a lot of padding for the wind noise so that the wind noise is reduced greatly on this camera, which is really nice to see inside of this small form factor camera, but it also raises the thickness and the size of this camera. Now, the camera can output a WAV file separate from the video file, which has the audio integrated into it, which is super nice to see, especially for editing if you want to do any tweaking or anything in a separate audio program, or even in Premiere or whatever editing program you'd like to use, which is, again, nice to see. So the GoPro series has never had very good batteries, all the way from the very first GoPro to the Hero 5 Black now. Now it has increased since the Hero 4 Silver. The Hero 4 Silver had a 1160 milliamp hour battery, and the GoPro Hero 5 Black has a 1220 milliamp hour battery. A small increase, but it also has a better 4K resolution and higher quality, so it needs that battery life to push the processing power inside of the camera. After recording in about an hour of footage at 4K 30 frames a second, I killed a battery completely at the beach. So when you buy a GoPro Hero 5 Black, what you get in the package is you get one mount that has 3M sticky stuff on it so you can mount it to stuff. You get the screw, a USB-C charging cord, a brick, and 2 batteries, or at least that's what I got in my package. Now let's take a look at some of the footage that I captured from the beach. In this footage I talked about a little bit of things about the camera, and so let's check this out now.
You should have gotten one bag like this, and you should have another bag over the other side.
Already thought about that.
One bag like that.
I can still go get one.
Go get one.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Whoa! So what's up, guys? This is the GoPro Hero 5 Black footage. It's a little shaky because I'm walking on a little trail here in Wilmington. I wanted to test the water with this GoPro. We're close. As you see, we're really close. But I don't want to like ruin it with the salt. It's on a Joby tripod anyway. Love these Joby. I hope the wind noise is good or bad, like it's, or not bad, you know what I mean? Wow. I hope it's not there.
Wow.
I can't talk in this video. Wow, that was pretty big. Come on. Are you TNG now?
TMG!
Oh, don't lose my sunglasses! Do this! Beautiful. I think I'm at less than 50% battery only by recording 4 minutes and 5 minutes. Oh, snoot. Right when it crashes. So if the wind noise isn't bad, oh! It's still recording!
Okay.
I want to dunk this thing. We're gonna go over together! It's still recording! Wow! Man, I took a beating on that one. Here's the voice controls on the GoPro. GoPro, start recording. So you heard a beep, and now the GoPro is actually recording. It stopped now because I said recording. GoPro, start recording. I could even say take a photo and it will take a photo. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, take a photo. It just took a photo. And it shows you that on the front screen, which is super nice to see. And you can see when it's starting to record and when it's starting to, or when it takes a photo. The front screen also shows what is left on your SD card and battery life, which is amazing for a small little screen like this. And you can see this in the light, in extreme light. Now extreme darkness, it's kind of hard to see. So my review of this GoPro, let's talk about the good things first. Let's get the good over with. So I've got 5 things that I really like about this camera. The battery life is better than the Hero 4 Silver. The image quality was absolutely fantastic. It's a tiny little camera. It does way better than my phone. It does way better than some DSLRs and camcorders. The menu system from the GoPro Hero 4 and models before it has drastically increased into the Hero 5, and it's really nice to see, and it's very easy to move around the menu. Number 4, the voice control is amazing. I was very skeptical walking into this and using this camera thinking that, okay, it's gonna be weird when I start talking to it, and it's gonna stop when I don't want it to, and it's gonna start when I do want it to, or not want it to, and all this kind of weird stuff. But surprisingly, it's very accurate, even at different pitches in my voice, because my voice is very cracky, as you know from if you watch any of my other videos. Number 5, the audio quality blew my mind. Taking it out to a beach and taking it on a speedboat and going through heavy winds and water and all this stuff, it was crazy how the mic stayed consistently solid over and over again. I was very impressed with that. The wind noise was greatly reduced. It was just fantastic. I was expecting the wind noise to just destroy the footage that I got from the beach. But it was fantastic. Even when I was screaming into the camera because I thought the wind noise was going to be bad, it compensated for my voice being on its auto setting. The auto setting was fantastic for the camera. Great job, GoPro. I'm thoroughly impressed. Now let's talk about some of the bad things I didn't like about this camera. As I said, where the battery life was better than the Hero 4 Silver, it could use some work. I put a 64GB micro SD card in this camera, and I can barely finish or fill up that 64GB micro SD card. Now that's very easy to do shooting at 4K at 30 frames per second, but on one battery, that's all I could do is maybe 2 hours. I never even fully got it to 2 hours. I only got it to about one and a half hours, like, total. So another thing is, or number two about things I don't like about this, is something that happened weird with the mount. You probably heard it. I don't know if it was with the Joby tripod or the camera, because I'm noticing it sometimes when I record without the Joby tripod that I was using at Wilmington, North Carolina, is that there's little clicks in the audio, almost like the camera is moving inside of the mount and hitting different sides of it. Kind of weird. Don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's the mic moving inside of the camera itself. Maybe it's a faulty camera. I don't know. It just sounded weird. I'm not happy with that. I don't want to have weird clicks in my audio all the time. Number three, the processor gets overloaded very, very quickly and starts to glitch the camera out, especially when you're using those Pro Tune settings and have a bunch of different stuff that you're manually tweaking because it's not programmed to do those things all the time. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not ready for that, and it's got a really low processor on it, so it starts to glitch. Kind of weird. I wish they would bump up the processor speed. I don't know if that's going to mean a larger camera, but I wish it would bump up the processor speed just so it wouldn't glitch all the time. And the fourth thing, the last thing that I do not like about this camera, everything else I love about this camera, last thing is get yourself an external charger. Charging this with the USB-C port on the camera is not fun. It takes a long time, and I don't want to leave my camera not being able to be used all the time. I want to be able to just throw another battery in it while the other ones are charging, and they're pretty cheap. You can find them for anywhere from like 20 to like 80 bucks, depending on the one you want. The GoPro external charger that they sell is pretty expensive, but you can find a good one that's off-brand. But get yourself one of those if you buy this. The camera is pretty cheap. It's a pretty good solid price for 4K at 30 frames per second. I'm very shocked with that. This camera comes in about $399, which is a solid price. It's cheaper than most DSLRs, and you can't even get a 4K camera unless you get a phone or something like that. That is awesome. So price is good there. So that was my review of this camera. This GoPro is fantastic, especially for the price. I was blown away by all the features that it had, especially with the audio and the image quality in such a small form factor. I'm okay with this size, even though the ones were smaller. Once you added the waterproof mount that this one has built into it, it became that size. I like this camera a lot. I totally recommend this camera for everyone who wants to do something, even if you're starting up a YouTube channel, just because the audio on this camera is fantastic. Blew my mind. Great job, GoPro. Anyway, thanks for checking this video out. I hope you like and subscribe. Get subscribed if you haven't. I know you're going to like the content. If you don't, tell me a way I could fix it or recommend stuff that you want me to do. Follow me on social media. I post a lot more stuff there than I do on this YouTube channel. I post stuff that I'm doing. I'm an audio engineer, so I have a lot of other stuff that's cool, tech related and music related, that is outside of this YouTube channel that you get, or that I showcase on my social media. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook, TMGJoshYT. Instagram is just at TMGJosh, and Twitter is at TMGJoshYT, again for YouTube. I'm getting a Twitch set up soon, so yeah, go follow me on all those. And thanks again for checking this out and sticking around for the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.